How did one fight in our kitchen turn into me getting served in a public lobby while strangers watched? Why did he stay calm, take a DNA test the legal way, and then make it so I had to carry my own bags outside like I was nothing? I kept saying he was the cruel one, until the papers and the results landed in my hands. My name is Alcesta Wynn. I was 33, and I worked in billing at a pediatric clinic. Numbers made sense to me. People did not. I liked rules when they helped me, and I hated rules when they boxed me in. That was my balance. I told myself it was normal. I still think I was just trying to survive. Ethan was my husband. He was 36. He ran crews and keys and work orders in a big office tower. He was the kind of man who fixed a loose cabinet door without telling anyone. He liked quiet mornings. He liked clean counters. He liked plans. After the baby came, I told everyone Ethan changed. I said he became cold. I said he watched me like a guard. I said he counted my minutes. Some of that was true, but I made it sound worse on purpose. I needed people on my side. I needed a villain in the story, and I needed it to be him. That night started like a normal weeknight. Noah was finally asleep in the nursery. The house was dim. The dishwasher hummed. I came in through the garage door with my purse still on my shoulder. My shoes were in my hand because the floor felt too loud. Ethan was in the kitchen. He had a mug in front of him and a plate that still had crumbs. He looked up like he had been waiting. He did not smile. He asked why I was late again. I said the clinic kept me because a claim was stuck. He asked why my phone went quiet for 2 hours. I said the signal inside the building was bad. He asked why my coworker had liked my photo at a coffee shop near downtown. I said people liked random things, and it did not mean anything. He did not yell. That was the problem. When a person yells, you can point at the yelling. When a person stays calm, you have to fight the calm. I hated that. He said he had called the clinic one time and no one picked up. He said he drove past the building after his shift and my car was not there. He asked if I could just tell him the truth. I told him he was acting crazy. I told him he needed therapy. I told him he was making things up to punish me for being tired. I said he never helped enough, and now he wanted to police me. He asked if there was someone else. I laughed, but it was a sharp laugh that hurt my throat. I said he always jumped to the worst story. I said he wanted to feel like a victim. He said he did not want to fight, and he just wanted to understand. He asked what happened to us. He said he missed the old us. That line made me angry because it sounded like he was the good one. I felt trapped. I felt judged. I felt like the walls were closer than normal. I needed to break the moment, so I used the one thing I knew would cut him. He asked again if I was lying. I told him maybe the baby was not his. The words left my mouth fast, like I had been saving them. I said it as if it was a joke. I said it as if it was a weapon I had a right to use because I was stressed. I watched his face change in a quiet way. His eyes blinked once, slow. His mouth stayed closed. His hands did not move. For a second, I felt powerful. I know how that sounds now. But in that moment, I felt like I had pushed him off the high ground. If he was hurt, then he could not lecture me. If he was shocked, then he had to stop asking questions. He asked what I meant. I said he heard me. He asked if I was serious. I said he should stop acting like a saint. He asked why I would say that. I said he pushed me there with his accusations. He stood up and walked to the sink. He rinsed his mug. He dried it and put it away like it mattered. Then he took his phone from the counter and looked at it, but he did not scroll like normal. He looked like he was deciding something. I told him he was being dramatic. I told him lots of women said things in fights. I told him real men did not get hurt so easily. He did not reply. He did not call me names. He did not slam a door. He just breathed in and out, slow, like he was counting. I followed him into the hallway. The nursery door was cracked open, and the nightlight made a soft line on the carpet. I could hear Noah's tiny sleep sounds. That should have softened me, but it did not. I felt like if I softened, I would lose. Ethan looked into the nursery and then back at me. He asked if Noah was safe. I said of course he was safe. He asked if I had ever doubted Noah was his before tonight. I said he was twisting my words. I wanted him to beg. I wanted him to say he was sorry for accusing me. I wanted him to hold me and prove I still had control. Instead, he walked past me to the kitchen wall calendar. We had a calendar with little boxes, and I used it for clinic shifts and baby checkups. Ethan never wrote on it. He always said he kept things in his head. That night he picked up a pen and wrote something in a small, neat hand. I saw the words but not the whole meaning. It said, downtown, 10:15 a.m. He did not look at me when he wrote it. I asked what that was. He said it was personal. I asked if he was going to tell my mother about what I said. He said he was not here for gossip. I asked if he was going to leave. He said he was going to do what was right. I did not like that phrase. It made me feel like I was already wrong. I tried to pull the fight back into my control. I told him he was trying to scare me. I said he wanted to punish a new mum. I said he cared more about his pride than his family. He asked if I wanted to stay married. I said of course I did, but he had to stop acting like a detective. I said he should focus on being a better husband. I said respect follows results, and I had results. I had a baby. I had a job. I had a life. He had rules and moods. He turned toward the hallway drawer where we kept household papers. That drawer had always been messy. Receipts, old manuals, random envelopes. He opened it and moved things with care, like he was sorting. Then I heard a small click. He shut it. The click sounded like a lock, even if it was just the drawer settling. My stomach tightened anyway. I asked what he was doing. He said he was putting things in order. I said he was being controlling again. He said nothing. I walked to the living room and took my phone. I texted my sister Britt. I told her Ethan was accusing me of cheating. I told her he questioned if the baby was his, like he had started it. I texted my friend Tara too. I told her Ethan was cold and cruel and trying to shame me. I made the story clean and simple. In my story, I was the tired mother, and he was the harsh man. In the kitchen, Ethan's phone buzzed once. He looked at it and set it face down. Then he went to the sink again and wiped the counter, slow and careful. He asked if we could talk in the morning. I said there was nothing to talk about if he kept acting like this. He asked if I would take Noah to the doctor appointment next week. I said I always did everything anyway. He nodded like he was saving the words, not spending them. I went to the bedroom and shut the door harder than I needed to. I wanted him to follow. He did not. From the bed, I could see the hallway light under the door. It stayed on for a long time. Then it went off. In the dark, I listened for his footsteps. I heard none. I heard only a faint sound, like a drawer opening and closing far away, very soft. I told myself he was the one breaking the family. I told myself I only said the baby line because he forced me. I told myself I had to protect my peace. But deep down, I knew I had thrown a match, and I could not pretend I did not like the way it lit the room. The next morning, I woke up before my alarm. The house felt too quiet. I could hear the heater click on, then off. I lay still and waited for Ethan to come into the bedroom and act normal. He did not. When I got up, I saw he had already showered. His side of the sink was dry. His toothbrush was in the cup, but it looked moved, like he had set it down with care. On the kitchen counter, there were 2 mugs, but they were not touching. They sat apart like strangers. Ethan was packing his lunch. He was not angry. He was not soft either. He looked like a man at work. He asked if Noah slept well. I said yes. He asked if I needed anything from the store. I said no. He nodded and kept packing. I wanted a reaction. I wanted a big talk. I wanted him to chase me so I could say I was tired of being chased. Instead, he was steady. He said he would do daycare drop-off today. I said Noah stayed home with me because I worked later. He asked what time my shift started. I said 8. He asked why I had said 10 last week. I said schedules changed. He did not argue, but his eyes held the question a second longer than normal. When he left, he did not kiss my forehead like he used to. He tapped the door frame with his fingers once and walked out. I stood in the kitchen and felt like I had been ignored on purpose. I told myself he was doing it to punish me. I told myself he was trying to make me feel small. That helped me feel righteous. It also helped me avoid the other thought, the one I did not want, that he was stepping back because he was planning something. At the clinic, I moved through my day like I was on a stage. I wore a calm face. I answered calls. I sorted claims. I smiled at parents at the counter when they asked billing questions. I did my job, but my mind kept running ahead to my story. When Tara messaged me, she asked if Ethan was still being weird. I said yes. I said he acted like I was a liar. I said it was unfair after all I did for the baby. Tara said men got insecure when women grew stronger. I liked that line. It made me sound like power, not trouble. In the break area, my coworker Janelle asked why I looked tired. I said the baby and Ethan's moods kept me up. She asked what I meant. I said he had been cold since Noah was born. I said he watched my phone. I said he asked questions like a detective. I did not say I had given him a reason. Janelle said that sounded stressful. I nodded like a brave woman. I said I just wanted peace. I said I felt like I lived with a judge. I made sure my voice stayed soft, like I was careful and kind. That was important. If I sounded calm, then my story sounded true. Later, my supervisor asked if everything was okay, because I had missed a payment batch yesterday. I said my home life was hard. I said my husband was acting jealous and I was losing sleep. My supervisor said I could take a personal day if I needed it. I said no, because I was responsible. That made me look noble. At lunch, I sat in my car and scrolled my photos. I saw one from last week at a downtown coffee shop. The photo had a latte and a window view. Colin had taken it. He was not in the frame, but I remembered his hand near mine when he slid the cup closer. Colin worked for a medical software vendor. He came to the clinic sometimes to check in and talk about updates. He smiled in a way that made you feel chosen. He asked how I was doing like it mattered. When I complained about Ethan, he said I deserved someone who saw me. He said it was normal to want attention. He said marriage should not feel like a cage. I told myself it was not a real affair. I told myself it was just relief. I told myself Ethan had pushed me into needing it. I liked how clean that sounded in my head. That afternoon, Ethan texted. He asked if we could talk after work. I said I was busy. He asked if I could send a copy of Noah's birth paperwork because the clinic had asked for it for insurance. I knew that was not true. Ethan did not handle clinic papers. That was my area. It was a small lie that did not fit, and I felt it. I told him he was being controlling again. I told him to stop trying to trap me. He replied with one line that felt cold. He said he only wanted clarity. I showed the text to Tara. I said it proved he was trying to corner me. Tara said I should not let him bully me. She said I should make sure people knew my side before he twisted it. I liked that idea because it gave me permission to go loud. After work, I met Tara at a small cafe near the clinic. I said I needed to vent. I told her Ethan questioned Noah. I did not tell her I had thrown that line first. I said Ethan refused to trust me, and it hurt. Tara said if a man doubted a baby, he doubted the mother's whole soul. She said that was emotional cruelty. I nodded and let her name it for me. Cruel sounded better than worried. Cruel made him wrong and me right. When I got home, I expected Ethan to be on the couch waiting. He was not. Noah was in his bouncer near the kitchen, calm and clean. A note was on the counter. It said Ethan had stepped out to run an errand and would be back soon. The note looked plain, but the letters were neat, like someone who wanted no confusion. I walked into the living room and saw the diaper bag was not on its hook. It was gone again, like last night. I checked the hallway closet. It was not there. I checked the car. It was not there. When Ethan came in, he carried groceries. He moved around me without touching me. He asked if Noah had eaten. I said yes. He asked if I had slept. I said not much because of stress. He nodded like he was taking notes in his head. I asked where the diaper bag was. He said he had cleaned it out and put it away. I asked why. He said it was messy. I said he was being strange. He said he was trying to keep the house in order. Later, I passed the kitchen wall calendar and saw the downtown 10:15 a.m. note again. Under it, there was another line now. It said, meeting, personal, written smaller, like it was not meant for me. I felt a prickle behind my ribs. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself he was just trying to scare me back into obedience. But when I walked by his laptop on the table, the screen went dark like it had been closed fast. For 1 second, before it slept, I saw a page with a simple map and a list. It looked like lab locations and appointment times. I stood there with my hand on the back of a chair, and my stomach turned cold. I told myself he would never dare. Then I remembered my own words in the kitchen, and I knew I had given him a door. The weekend came fast. I told myself I needed a reset. I said we needed a normal family dinner, so Ethan would stop acting like a quiet judge. But that was not the real reason. The real reason was that I wanted witnesses. I asked my mother Marcia to plan a dinner. I said it would help the family feel close again. She asked if Ethan was behaving. I said he was being cold and suspicious. She said a good wife should not be questioned. She said she would invite Ethan's parents too, so everyone could see who was being unfair. I invited Tara and Britt. I told Tara I needed her energy. I told Britt I needed a sister who understood. I did not tell them about the lab page on Ethan's laptop. I did not tell them about the calendar note. I kept those details inside because they made me feel less in control. Ethan did not want to go. He asked if we could talk at home instead. I said he always wanted to hide behind private talks. He asked if we could keep it calm. I said I always kept it calm until he started accusing. He asked if Noah should be around a tense dinner. I said the baby would be fine, and he was just trying to avoid people. At the restaurant, we sat at a long table near the back. The lights were warm. The place was busy. Plates clinked. People laughed in other corners, and that noise made me feel safe. Noise meant no one could hear the small cracks in my story. Noah was in his carrier beside me. I adjusted the blanket like I was a perfect mother. I watched Ethan across the table. He sat straight, hands near his water glass. He looked tired, but not messy. That bothered me. He looked like a man who could be believed. Marcia started fast. She asked Ethan why he had been so harsh lately. Ethan said he did not want to argue in public. Marcia said that was a convenient answer. Ruth looked down at her napkin. Gordon watched the menu like he wished he could disappear into it. Tara leaned close to me and asked if Ethan was still punishing me. I nodded and sighed like a patient woman. Tara lifted her phone and held it low, not obvious, but I saw the camera angle. She wanted content. She wanted a story. Ethan asked if I was okay. I said I was fine and he should stop pretending to care. He asked if we could step outside to talk. I said he always wanted to control the setting. I said if he had concerns, he could say them here with everyone. Britt asked what the concerns were. I said Ethan had been questioning my honesty. I said he checked my phone. I said he timed my work hours. I did not say why. Ethan asked me to stop making it bigger. I said he had already made it big by treating me like a suspect. He asked what I wanted. I said respect. I said peace. I said support. I made my voice soft, like I was the one holding the family together. The food came. People started eating, but no one looked relaxed. I felt the tension and decided I needed to win. I needed Ethan to look wrong, clearly wrong, so no one would ask me hard questions later. So I did what I always did when I felt cornered. I turned pain into a joke and called it honesty. Marcia asked if Ethan had finally apologized. I laughed and said he was too busy being a detective. I said he acted like the baby was not even his. I looked at Ethan when I said it, and I made my face playful like it was just a silly line. Ruth's fork stopped. Britt's eyes widened. Tara made a small gasp sound that felt fake, like she enjoyed the shock. Gordon stared at his plate. Ethan asked me what I was doing. I said I was just repeating what he acted like. He asked if I had any idea what that sounded like. I said it sounded like the truth, and if he hated it, he should stop pushing me. He asked if I truly believed Noah was not his. I did not answer cleanly. I said he was twisting my words again. I said he always wanted to make me the bad one. I said a real man would not embarrass his wife by doubting her. Marcia jumped in and said it was shameful to question a mother. She said Ethan needed to grow up. Tara nodded and said, men use doubt to control women. Tara's phone stayed in her hand the whole time, angled at the table like she was checking messages, but I knew what she was doing. Ethan stayed calm. He asked Marcia to stop speaking for me. He asked Tara to put her phone away. Tara said she was not recording. Ethan said he did not accuse her, he only asked. Tara smiled like he was rude for even mentioning it. Britt asked me quietly if I had said something like that at home first. I told her she was taking Ethan's side. I told her she did not understand what it was like to live with constant suspicion. Britt said she was only trying to understand. I said understanding was a luxury I did not have. Ethan looked at Noah for a long moment. His face did not show rage. It showed something else, like a decision settling in his chest. Then he took his napkin, placed it on the table, and stood up. Marcia asked where he thought he was going. Ethan said he was leaving because the table was not safe for a real talk. Marcia said he was running away. Tara said he could not handle accountability. I sat there and let them talk, because their voices made me feel protected. Ethan walked to the front and paid the bill. I watched him from my seat. The server thanked him. No one argued with him. No one stopped him. He did everything clean and normal. That made me angry again, because I wanted him messy. Outside, I followed with Noah's carrier. Ethan was in the parking lot near his car. He did not slam a door. He did not threaten. He did not even point a finger. He just looked at me and asked if I understood what I had done. I said he was being dramatic. I said he was trying to punish me for speaking. I said he needed to stop acting like a victim. He asked if I wanted to fix the marriage. I said I wanted him to stop attacking me. I said he should be grateful I was still here. I said other women would have left a man who doubted them. He nodded once, slow. His phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen and I caught a quick detail. A missed call from a contact, saved as a single emoji. He turned the screen down right away, but it was too late. I saw it. I asked who that was. He said it was personal. I asked if he was talking to someone about me. He said he was talking to professionals about clarity. I said he was making it into a case. He said he did not want a case, but he needed facts. On the drive home, Ethan kept the radio off. Noah made small sounds in the back. My hands shook on my phone as I messaged Tara. I asked if she got enough video. She said she had a little, and the captions would write themselves. That made my stomach lift and drop at the same time. That night, after we put Noah down, the house smelled like something dry and warm, like printer toner. I walked past the office corner and saw the printer tray open. A single sheet sat there. It looked blank at first, but when I held it to the light, I saw faint marks, like a test page that did not fully print. Ethan was in the kitchen, wiping the counter again, slow and careful, like he was cleaning more than crumbs. I told myself he was the one tearing the family apart. I told myself I had to stay loud, because loud people did not lose. But when I went to bed, I could not sleep. My mind kept replaying his calm face at the table, and the way he paid the bill like he was closing a chapter. Monday hit like a bill you forgot to pay. The restaurant dinner was still in the air, even though it was days ago. People remembered the words. They did not remember my tone. They remembered the idea. I saw it in the way Britt looked at me, and in the way Tara texted, with too much excitement. At the clinic, I walked in like I owned my life. I wore my nicest simple blouse. I tied my hair back like I was focused. I told myself that if I looked clean, my story would stay clean. Janelle asked how the family dinner went. I said it was awful because Ethan made it awkward. She asked what he did. I said he stormed out and left me sitting there embarrassed. I did not mention he paid the bill. I did not mention he did not raise his voice. Those details made him look reasonable, and I could not afford that. During lunch, Tara sent me screenshots. She had posted a short clip from the table. My voice was not clear in it, but Ethan's face was. The caption said something like, "When a man doubts the mother of his child." She tagged me and added a crying emoji. People commented fast. Some people called Ethan trash. Some people asked what happened. A few people said it was private and should not be online. Tara replied to those with, "Women deserve support." I stared at the comments until my eyes hurt. A sick part of me liked the attention. I told myself it was advocacy. I told myself I was protecting mothers. I told myself Ethan started this by questioning me. Then my supervisor called me into the small HR room near the copy machine. She asked if everything was okay at home. She said she saw a post with my name in it, and the clinic preferred staff not be involved in public drama. She asked if my stress was affecting work. I said Ethan was harassing me emotionally. I said he was accusing me and making me lose sleep. I said I was trying to keep my family together. My supervisor asked if I felt unsafe. I said not physically, just mentally. I chose my words carefully, like I was building a picture. She nodded and told me to use the employee assistance line if I needed counseling. She also asked me to keep social media quiet for a while. I walked out feeling both proud and angry. Proud because I had made my case. Angry because even at work, people wanted me to be quiet. When I got home, the house felt arranged. That is the only word. Arranged. Shoes were lined up. Counters were clear. The baby bottles were washed and facing the same direction. It looked like a showroom, not a home. Ethan was in the living room with Noah on a playmat. Noah kicked his legs and made small, happy sounds. Ethan smiled at him, soft and real. That smile hit me like an insult. How could he smile after what he did to me, after he made me look wrong at the restaurant? He asked how my day was. I said it was exhausting because of him. He asked what I meant. I said he humiliated me in front of my mother. He said he left to stop a scene. I said leaving was the scene. He said he would not debate in circles. I tried to pull him back into emotion. I said he was cold. I said he did not love me. I said he only loved control. He asked if I could stop posting about him. I said I did not post anything. Tara did. He asked if I could tell Tara to remove it. I said I could not control other adults. He nodded once, like he expected that answer. He asked if Noah's insurance card was in the drawer. I said I had it somewhere. He said he needed it for a form. I said he was always talking about forms now. He said it was normal to keep things organized. He said he wanted everything clear. After dinner, I went to the nursery to fold onesies. I needed to feel like a mother, not a problem. Noah's little clothes were soft, and the smell of baby detergent almost calmed me. Almost. Then I noticed something missing. A framed photo of us from our first year of marriage was gone from the dresser. It used to sit beside Noah's baby book. Now there was an empty rectangle of dust where it had been. I walked back into the hallway and asked Ethan where the photo went. He said he put it away. I asked why. He said he was decluttering. I said that was rude. He said he was trying to make the home calm. I did not believe him. Decluttering was an excuse. It was a message. He was removing me in small pieces. My phone buzzed. It was Britt. She asked if it was true that Ethan wanted a DNA test. I froze. I asked who told her that. She said Marsha heard it from Ruth, and Tara had hinted it in a group chat. I felt heat climb my neck. The story was moving without me. I told Britt it was a lie. I said Ethan was trying to scare me. Britt asked if the baby could be someone else's. Her voice sounded careful, like she was stepping around glass. I told her she was being disloyal. I told her she should trust me. Britt said she loved me, but she was worried. I hung up and stared at the wall. I told myself Britt was weak. I told myself she always needed approval. I told myself I was strong. Later, I went to the kitchen for water. Ethan was at the table with his laptop open. He did not jump when I entered. He did not hide it. That made me more nervous. I saw a spreadsheet on the screen. No title I could read from where I stood. Just columns and rows. Dates on the left, numbers on the right. He clicked calmly between tabs. One tab looked like it could be utilities or bank from the layout, but I could not be sure. I only knew it was not a game or a work email. It looked like planning. On the counter near him, there was a sticky note that said, "Bring forms." The writing was his. I touched it with one finger like it could bite me. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing household things. I asked why he needed forms. He said he would handle it properly. The word again. Properly. He used it like a door he could close. I went to the garage to take out trash. Ethan's car was parked pointed toward the street, not toward the back wall like usual. It was a small thing, but it felt like a suitcase left by the door. When I came back inside, I heard a low hum from somewhere near the office corner. It sounded like a shredder, soft and steady. Then it stopped. I walked toward the sound, but Ethan stepped into the hallway at the same time. He asked if I needed help with Noah's bath. I said no. He nodded and walked past me, calm. That night in bed, I scrolled through Tara's post again. More comments had come in. Some people asked if the baby was okay. Some people said Ethan should be exposed. Tara liked those comments. My stomach turned. I told myself the internet was on my side. I told myself that meant I was right. But in the dark, I could not ignore the new shape of the house. The missing photo, the spreadsheet, the sticky note, the car pointed out. Ethan's calm voice saying, "Properly," like it was a promise I could not interrupt. I did not calm down after the clinic talk. If anything, it made me feel more trapped. When your boss asks if you are okay, it is not kindness. It is a warning. I told myself Ethan was ruining my life on purpose. I told myself I had to push back before he pushed me out. That evening, I drove to Ethan's office tower. I said I was there to talk like adults. That was my polite cover. The real reason was that I wanted to catch him doing something wrong. If I could get a bad moment on my phone, I could win again. I waited in the parking garage because it was bright and echoing. People came and went. Cameras were on the ceiling. I told myself cameras would protect me. I also told myself cameras would prove he was cruel, if he was cruel. Ethan came out with his work bag. He looked tired. He did not look shocked to see me. That bothered me. I wanted surprise. I wanted fear. He just stopped a few steps away, like he measured distance on purpose. He asked why I was there. I said I needed answers. He asked where Noah was. I said with a sitter. He asked if Noah was safe. I said yes and told him not to change the topic. I held my phone in my hand, screen dark but ready. I did not say I was recording. I wanted him to guess. I wanted him to slip. I told him I knew he was planning something. He asked what I meant. I said the calendar notes, the forms, the way he asked for paperwork. He said he was organizing normal life. I said it was not normal. I said it was a trap. He asked if I wanted to talk calmly. I said calm was his weapon. I said he stayed calm so people would think I was crazy. I said he acted like a saint in public and punished me in private. He said he did not punish me. He said he did not want drama. He said he wanted a stable home for Noah. I heard the words, but I did not accept them. Stability sounded like he could live without me. I stepped closer, just one step, and he stepped back. just one step. That small mirror move made me feel weak. I hated feeling weak. I told him if he kept this up, everyone would know what kind of man he was. He asked what I planned to say. I said I would tell people he doubted his own child. I said I would tell people he treated a new mother like a suspect. I said I would make sure his boss heard about it too. He did not raise his voice. He asked me not to contact his workplace. He said it would be inappropriate and it could affect his job. He said he had always paid for the home and the baby needs, and he would not risk that for a fight. I said he was threatening me. He said he was stating facts. He said if I needed to communicate, we could do it in a clean way with clear boundaries. I asked what boundaries. He said respectful ones. That word made me laugh. Respect. He wanted respect now, after embarrassing me by going quiet and acting like I was dangerous. I tried another angle. I said he was probably talking to other women already. He said he was not. I said he was lying. He said he did not need to prove anything to me in a garage. I leaned in and said, maybe the baby really was not his, so why did he care so much? I waited for him to explode. I wanted the moment. I wanted the proof. He did not explode. He closed his eyes for a short second, like he was tired of the same wall. Then he opened them and asked if I understood what those words did to a child. He said even if Noah could not understand now, Noah would feel the tension later. I told him he was trying to shame me. I said he was making me sound like a monster. I said I was a good mother. I said I did everything. He asked if I had been faithful. I said he did not deserve that question. He asked again, slower. I said he was obsessed. I said he was the reason I felt lonely. I said if I had talked to someone, it was because Ethan had been cold since the baby came. He did not argue with my excuses. He just listened. That was worse. When a man argues, you can twist him into the villain. When he listens, you have to hear yourself. I felt my throat tighten, so I forced anger again. I said I would go live online right there. I said I would tell the truth to everyone. I lifted my phone higher so he would see it. He looked at the phone and then at the ceiling cameras. He said if I recorded him, he would not stop me. He said he would not give me a scene. He said he would leave and drive home safely. He said he would not discuss private matters in public spaces. It made me furious that he sounded like a manual. I called Colin from the car after Ethan walked away. Colin did not answer. I texted him and said I needed help, that Ethan was acting dangerous. Colin replied later with one short line that said I should handle my marriage. That was it. No comfort, no plan. He was brave only when nothing cost him. When I got home, I found Ethan in the driveway putting a small bag in his trunk. It was not a suitcase. It looked like a work bag and a folder-sized case. He closed the trunk softly. I asked if he was leaving. He said no. He asked me not to block the driveway. I said he was acting like a stranger. He said he was trying to keep things calm. I said he could not just go quiet and remove me from my own house. He said he was not removing me. He said he was preparing for whatever came next, because chaos was bad for Noah. I told him he was making threats again. He shook his head once and said it was not a threat. He said it was a process. I asked what process. He looked at me, steady, and his voice stayed flat. He said he would handle it properly. I walked into the courthouse lobby with Noah's stroller and my mother on my arm, still telling myself Ethan was bluffing. A woman in a plain blazer approached and asked my name. I said it, annoyed, like she was a fan. She handed me an envelope and said I had been served. I laughed and said my husband was dramatic. She said she was only doing her job. I opened it at the public counter because I wanted to look fearless. The first pages listed divorce and a paternity action. Attached was a lab report with certified results stating Ethan was not Noah's biological father. My throat went dry. I told the clerk Ethan was abusing paperwork. The clerk said she could not discuss feelings. Ethan stood a few steps away with Kyle, both quiet. Ethan asked if I had read the temporary orders. I said he was stealing my life. He said the order set a move-out schedule and a no-contact rule except about the baby.